Hi, have you come across anything where you were in a dilemma on which certification body to select if you were going for certification? The same thing happened with most of my clients, and they were behind me to suggest them which certification body should they go ahead with for their certification. This is the intention of today's video, and this video is purely for an information purpose where uh, it will talk about the answers to what exactly should we look while confirming a certification body or while deciding a certification body. The first and foremost is you have to evaluate most of the certification bodies which are the names of which are very popular in the market. Secondly, they should be conforming to most of the CASCO standards. That means they should be CASCO certified. The long form of CASCO is Conformity Assessment Standards. There are many different standards which are developed by ISO, which are conformity assessment standards, and most of the certification bodies have conformity assessment to most of these standards. You will get a whole list of exhaustive list of standards. If at all you Google it, or even if you go to iso.org site, you will be able to understand more about it. So the first point which I made is you have to evaluate the certification bodies. So what are the basis of evaluating any certification body? Basically, the price point is the biggest thing. But beyond price point, also there are many things which a client should evaluate regarding a certification body. Yes, the plays a more important role than anything else, but you should not end up confirming your certification body to any certification body where you have to regret in the future. So the first point which it should be evaluated is whether that certification body has an office in your own country. And naturally, if it is a big certification body, you definitely they definitely have one office in your country. It may be miles apart from your area, but yes, they have something as an office in your own country. The second point is if it is accredited, because there are many certification bodies where the accreditations are not there. At the same time, the third point is you should also see that whether that certification body is accredited for the standard which you are going to get certified for, because there are certification bodies where they are accredited for 3 or 4 standards, but they give services for almost all the standards. And when they have any such kind of client where they don't have accreditation, they produce a non-accredited certificate. It may happen, so you have to confirm that as well. And yes, last but not the least, the price point. Now all major certification bodies work on certain thumb rule, and these thumb rules are different from each certification body. Now generally the knowledge which I have, I'll just share it with you. The price of a certification body or the quotation of a certification body depends on 2-3 different factors. That is, one is how popular that body is. Then secondly, the license fee which they have to pay to the accreditation body, and then they have certain other administrative expenses which they want to make up from the client. So these 3 points are the major points which cover up the whole or almost 90% of the amount which is quoted. Now while quoting also, the thumb rule which I just told you is if any of the client has employees or headcount on the payroll or a contractual basis employees, if they have 18 or below employees, which even the management is counted as one of the employee. If they have 18 and below employees, then they quote a specific figure, let's say X. If it is between 19 to 50 employees, then it will be a little bit higher. When it is 50 to 80, it is again a little bit higher, and from 80 to 100, it is again a bit higher. So they have brackets uh, which they have defined for at least 3000 employees. So any organization who is a 3000 employee organization, for them the price or the quotation of a certification body will be naturally very big. And for any organization who is only 18 head count or 18 employees, for them it would be a very less quotation. Why they take into question the employees is because when an auditor comes at your place, he has to audit and take into account, or he has to produce, or he has to give the audit trail for almost 60 to 65% of the employees. And that is the reason the price of any certification body is majorly dependent on the number of employees. The second point which a certification body considers while quoting is whether the location auditee location is only one or more than one location. So as I mentioned, that if at all any client has 3000 employees in its organization and it is spread across a country and they have almost 6 to 7 offices, then the price naturally will go higher because the number of days for audit increases. These number of days or one day is also called as one man day. So if it is 18 employees for any organization, then probably a certification auditor would come only for one man day at your place. If it is between 18 to 50, naturally, probably it would be one person for 2 days, that means 2 man days, or 2 auditors 1 day. So that is how the bifurcation is. Again, any certification body plays between the minimum figure which they have to quote and the highermost in that bracket. So that also we have to consider. One more point which is not so major point, but you have to also confirm with the certification body whether your scope which you are going to get certified for, are they already having any auditor which is having competency to audit your kind of scope. If your scope is very common, like if you are a fabricator, the fabrication is a very common code. So most of the certification bodies are already having CASCO standard approved for that kind of code or that kind of trade. But if you have a very niche thing and you are niche into the market, then it may happen that a certification body does not have that code or CASCO or a certification auditor on its payroll, or even the hired panel auditor. So in that case also, when it is a niche market, then certification body's quote would be a little higher than what you can expect for a normal code. So all these points need to be considered before getting your certification body or choosing a certification body. I hope you like this video, and I would be publishing many such kind of informationary videos from quality management area. The way I have discussed about how to select a certification body, one more important point is how to select a consultant, because you may need a consultant. If at all you don't need, and if at all you want to go with your internal employees who can do the implementation, nothing wrong in that, go ahead. But if you want to select any consultant, I will be making a different video on this. Probably in the series next would be the video on how to select a consultant for your kind of implementation. So that I will be making and I will be posting. So stay tuned. If you have liked this video, please press the like button. Please do subscribe and press the bell icon also, so that whenever there is a upload of new video, you will get an indication. And share this video to many of your colleagues, so that they also make an informed decision about how to select a certification body. Thank you very much.